WESH 2 News starts now with breaking news.
That breaking news, crews are on the scene right now of a church fire in Orange County.
A firefighter had to be taken to the hospital for treatment of injuries. WESH 2's Haley Crumblehome is live outside the church building. And Haley, what have you learned?
So we've heard from the fire department that firefighter that was injured is expected to be okay. At this point, the fire is out, but you can see there are still quite a few crews here on North Hiawassee Road where it happened. That's because they're putting out hotspots here at the Center Arena Church. Now, if we zoom in, you can see some of the damage to the roof here. They're still working to make sure nothing kind of crops up now that the fire is out. Now, we have learned that there were actually people inside when the fire happened. They were in the middle of Bible study when the smoke alarms went off.
We weren't even out the door when we look up and we see the roof engulfed in flames, and we got out in time. Everybody ran out of the building.
The crews were returning from a medical call. They came across the church here that was on fire. We immediately was able to get in.
No, he spoke with the pastor. He says he's just thankful the side of the church where the fire happened, everyone was out of that part of the building by 5 o'clock. Sometimes they have youth programs on that side, so he's really feeling grateful tonight. All of the people in Bible study got out. He says they're resilient, even if they have to have church services this weekend out in the parking lot. He says that's still something they're going to do. Live in Orange County, Haley Crumblehome, WESH 2 News.
Tonight, we continue to track the tropics because there is a lot of ground to cover. Several disturbances are churning in the Atlantic.
Yeah, you can see them right here. Let's go ahead and check in with Chief Meteorologist Tony Minolfi, who has been keeping an eye on all of these systems. Tony?
Well, I tell you what, we just got some updates. Let's begin with the two features here closest to home. We'll spend some time around 11:18 there in the eastern tropical Atlantic. There's Harold, though, right now continuing to race very quickly now across the state of Texas into Old Mexico. Again, a tropical depression moving west to west-northwest now at about 18 miles an hour, bringing a lot of rain to the city of Del Rio tonight. Some of this moisture is going to work back towards Arizona and New Mexico over the next couple of days. We'll have to watch that on the heels of what Hillary brought to both Arizona and California. You can see the latest computer model tracks and trends off towards the west-northwest near El Paso. Now, Franklin tonight trying to get a little better organized. A pretty good burst of showers and storms here moving north now, making that turn. Going to bring significant rain, potential for catastrophic flooding here, especially to the southern-facing slopes there of some of the mountains across the Haiti-Dominican Republic border. You can see a big burst of thunderstorms. We've got tropical storm warnings and now tropical storm watches there for the southern Bahamas. The news is that this is going to head to the north, may try to curve back briefly to the northwest, but a front will come on in and then push this one back towards Bermuda. We'll talk more about the rest of the tropics, but for now, guys, we are in good shape right here in Central Florida.
Good to hear, Tony. Thanks. New at 11, a jury in Volusia County convicted a man for a murder in Daytona Beach. Willie Walker and another person shot and killed 25-year-old Joshua Goodman in the parking lot of a business on International Speedway Boulevard in May of 2020. The next day, the vehicle Walker was driving was tracked to Orlando and the scene of a deadly crash. A judge sentenced Walker to 2 consecutive life sentences.
Orange County Sheriff's deputies arrest a mother just 1 year after her son's death. 26-year-old Glendales Gaudreau Torres is now charged with aggravated manslaughter of a child. The sheriff's office says 5-year-old Hector was found unresponsive and that a toxicology report found cocaine and fentanyl in his system. Detectives believe she had been dealing drugs. Upgraded charges now against the Osceola County mom who confessed to strangling her 13-year-old son. Authorities have now added premeditated first-degree murder to 37-year-old Jasmine Kennedy's list of charges. She's appeared in court today and remains in jail tonight without bond.
Tonight, we have learned a key witness in the classified documents case against former President Donald Trump has recanted previous false testimony. The new testimony implicates Trump and his 2 co-defendants. The former director of information technology at Mar-a-Lago changed his testimony in July regarding efforts to delete security camera footage. In March, he told a grand jury he could not recall any conversations about the video. The lineup is set for Wednesday's Republican presidential primary debate, where Governor Ron DeSantis will be the frontrunner on stage, but not in the polls. The biggest problem for all of the candidates will be the man who won't be there, and whether they need to be aggressive in attacking the current frontrunner or avoid mentioning Donald Trump at all. To qualify for the debate, candidates needed to satisfy polling and donor requirements set by the Republican National Committee and sign a pledge promising to support the party's eventual nominee. Former President Trump plans to skip the event and instead have an online interview while the others debate.
Today marks 6 months since a shooting spree ended the young lives of Natasha Augustin, local TV news reporter Dylan Lyons, and 9-year-old Tiana Major. They were all killed on February 22nd in separate incidents in the Pine Hills neighborhood. Keith Moses has pleaded not guilty to murder, attempted murder, and other charges and is now being held without bond. Now, the very next day after the Pine Hill shooting spree, Mayor Demings reconvened the county's Violence Prevention Task Force. It's called the Citizens Safety Task Force. And today, county commissioners approved the group's plan that includes programs that focus on prevention, intervention, enforcement, and prosecution. We caught up with the task force co-chair today.
I think it went well. Sometimes there are expectations that are unrealistic, like, okay, this group's going to come in and they're going to, create a whole new approach and it's going to revolutionize the world and all that kind of thing. It doesn't work quite that way. But we try to improve. We try to make incremental changes.
The county plans to measure if the programs are working by looking at education, crime, and juvenile justice statistics. And coming up next on WESH 2, the rescue of children and adults trapped inside a broken cable car hundreds of feet above a canyon.
A woman claims part of her finger was severed by something not meant to be dangerous.
Then I was panicking and shocked.
She explains the horrifying experience while dropping off a book at a local library.
And from the Atlantic to the Pacific, the storms and the tropics causing major cleanup in communities.
A new school year can mean new routines or getting back into old ones.
At WESH 2 News Sunrise, our mission remains the same.
To get you ready to take on the day with the news that's happening in your community.
How the weather may impact your day.
And what obstacles could be along the way.
Whether you're getting the kids up and ready or just heading to the office.
This is the team to get your morning off to a fresh start. WESH 2 News Sunrise. Weekdays starting at 4:30 a.m.
Download the free WESH 2 News app today. Custom weather alerts on the WESH 2 app. Download it today.
New at 11, rescuers save 8 people who were trapped in a broken cable car as it dangled hundreds of feet above a canyon in Pakistan. 6 children and 2 adults were inside when the cable snapped while it was crossing a river canyon.
Wow. A woman is suing the city of Mount Dora over something pretty disturbing.
Yeah, she claims that part of her finger was severed at a library drop box. Bobby Haverly was at the W.T. Bland Library last month trying to return several books. Since there was a line at the front desk, she decided to use the book drop box. What she says happened next is pretty awful.
My finger got pinched, and I thought I just pinched it like you do in a closet door or something, and when I reflexively pulled it away, I just was shocked at the blood. I didn't know where my fingertip was, and it was stuck in the metal box.
Bobby is a registered nurse and tried to preserve her finger, but unfortunately, doctors did not succeed. We did reach out to the city of Mount Dora for comment, but they couldn't because of the lawsuit.
Now, earlier tonight, WESH 2 Investigates reported the One Pulse Foundation sent a letter to families and survivors explaining where things stand right now with the memorial. And tonight, the families of the victims and Pulse survivors are responding. That letter from the foundation laid out the major developments that have been unfolding over the last few months, which WESH 2 has reported in depth. The 2 major points: the memorial will have to be built on a site other than the nightclub after they failed to reach an agreement with the nightclub owners to donate the property. And the permit for the interim memorial site expired, and as a result, the foundation has now handed over all responsibility and maintenance to Barbara and Rosario Poma, who own the site. The families and survivors responded saying, in part, we are saddened, distressed, and devastated by the decisions made by both the One Pulse Foundation and Pulse nightclub owners. They want the nightclub property to be donated for the memorial and for the foundation to be dissolved. Now, you can read this letter in full and watch all of our reporting on the One Pulse Foundation. There is a lot of it. It's all available at WESH.com. All right, go ahead and take a look right now at these pictures showing a fender bender involving the new Swan shuttle bus in Orlando. The autonomous shuttle just opened to the public on Sunday. It makes a 1-mile loop around the Creative Village. Well, these pictures show that shuttle behind a Lynx bus after the crash. This is all on Terry Avenue near Livingston. Orlando police say there were minor damages to both vehicles. Fortunately, no one was injured.
As scorching heat hits Central Florida, SeaWorld Orlando wants to make sure you don't lose any money if you have to miss out on your trip. The theme park launched a new program called Weather or Not Assurance. If extreme heat, rain, lightning, or snow affects your park experience or upcoming flight plans, a guest can swap out their days and come back within a year for free. You can do this at guest services or online. It feels like temps have to reach 110 degrees at SeaWorld to use that wild weather policy.
That's certainly not out of reach for us. Cleanup efforts are underway right now in California and Nevada, though, after Tropical Storm Hilary unleashed major flooding there. This is video from Mount Charleston in Nevada, where first responders evacuated cabins while residents in several subdivisions were ordered to stay put. Look at this. Many still without water and power there. Now in Cathedral City in Palm Springs, California, the storm brought several feet of mud and water there, burying roadways and damaging homes and vehicles. Now, Tropical Storm Franklin caused sporadic rains in Puerto Rico and no flash flood emergencies, though. But on the island of Hispaniola, the National Hurricane Center warns life-threatening flooding is still possible through Wednesday. You can already see some of the rain and rough surf on the right of your screen here in the video from the Dominican Republic.
All this crazy weather, all these storms in the tropics, and we are not under any threat whatsoever.
Yeah, that's good news for us, but it makes a busy Tony Manolfi for sure.
It does, but you know, we're just getting ready now. The peak of the hurricane season is September the 10th. Today's the 22nd, so we're about 3 weeks out from there. That's, again, the halfway point, and then once we get into October, we sometimes get that little secondary max. So we're in good shape now, but we're far from done. We need you guys to get those hurricane action plans in order if you haven't done so already. Drive looking beautiful tonight. You can see that northeasterly flow with a little trough of low pressure up to the north. There have been a few spotty light isolated showers off the coast there of coastal Brevard County, where the temperatures tonight are running in the low 80s. Farther to the north, we're in the mid to the upper 70s. Through the interior, we're running in the low 80s. The air north and west just a little bit drier, but again soupier as you head back towards the coast. You get that Atlantic warm waters, and you get that very warm evening there along the immediate coastline. Daybreak temperatures running 75 to 80 here. Low 70s north and west. Out the door at 7 a.m. in Orlando. Right around 76 degrees. So 82 at 9. Daytona Beach jumping up to right around the 90-degree mark, then falling back during the afternoon. And here's the reason why. We got that onshore flow picking on up. We got a front backing on in. We'll get some pockets of moisture coming in out ahead of that front. Nothing significant, but needless to say, any rain that we can get, we'll take, as a lot of us are still way behind. Unfortunately, though, there's not a lot of rain in the forecast for tomorrow. Let's take a look at the temps. There is a lot of heat. 93 to 96 back through the interior, whereas right here along the coast we'll be running in the upper 80s to right around the 90-degree mark. Let's take a look now at the golf forecast. Little midweek golf here, not bad in the morning. Tee times are looking pretty good, upper 70s, low 80s. By the afternoon, tracking some showers and plenty of heat. So make sure you stay hydrated and have that sunblock ready to go. 1 o'clock temperature over at SeaWorld, 91. 5 o'clock, 91. Could be a few quick, fast-moving showers, but other than that, not much more than that. So have fun over there. And let's take a look at that forecast for Thursday and Friday. Front kind of backs on in, washes on out, provides us with somewhat drier air by the time we get you on into Friday afternoon. And with that persistent onshore flow, as you head to the coast this weekend, just know there's going to be some dangerous rip currents there, and a better chance for rain along the western side of the peninsula as we head into the weekend. Speaking of the weekend, the Coke 0400 fan zone opens up at 8, 78 degrees, looking good. 3 o'clock, venue gates are opening up. Race starts at 7 o'clock, temperature then 82 degrees. Wawa 250 on Friday, looking like this here. Isolated showers at 8 o'clock in the morning. A few isolated showers as the midway's opening on up. And with the race beginning at 7:30, we dry on out and looking pretty good. Back to the tropical Atlantic. Spend a little bit of time here on Franklin. I'm going to move to the north and the east. Again, this one's going to be a big problem for the Dominican Republic and Haiti. This is the remnants of Emily making a comeback tonight. We'll have to watch that. And then last but not least, Invest 92 will develop into a tropical depression, not likely to impact us here in the States. So as we head into the weekend, it's the heat. As we transition to next week, rain returns and temperatures by Tuesday getting back to normal.
Tony, thank you. All right, this past weekend, I had the honor of emceeing the 25th Annual Embassy of Hope Foundation Charity Gala in Volusia County. NBA All-Star and soon-to-be Florida Sports Hall of Famer Vince Carter founded that organization in 1998 to address the needs of children and parents in our community. Well, they auctioned off a bunch of autographed sports paraphernalia and a bunch of other things. All of the proceeds will go towards more scholarships and community programs. So big shout out to them.
Yeah, job well done all the way around.
Absolutely.
It's a big weekend for sports fans. Not only is Saturday the Bucks preseason finale against the Ravens, but it's also the Coke Zero Sugar 400.
Yeah, we got a lot going on, Chris. And we actually heard you got a very close look at the Daytona racetrack today.
I would say the closest look, although Jim might argue with me since I didn't actually drive the car. I'm so sorry to disappoint you. Speed,
it's
not
okay.
really my thing.
Next time.
But yes, next time I got you. Yes, coming up tonight in sports, you can join me as I jump into the passenger seat at the Coke Zero Sugar 400 racetrack in Daytona. Plus, in a quarterback battle that has been the talk of Bucks training camp so far, a winner has been decided. After the break, hear from head coach Todd Bowles on Tampa's new QB1.
WESH 2 Sports is sponsored by Mullinax Ford, Florida's largest Ford retailer. For upfront pricing and no dealer fees, shop Mullinax, where car buying is simple, easy, fun. Now, WESH 2 Sports, sponsored by Mullinax Ford.
Bucks fans, the wait is over. You finally have your quarterback. Hey, everybody, I'm Kristen Lago. Head coach Todd Bowles announcing Baker Mayfield has won the race to replace Tom Brady. He will take the reins week 1 against the Vikings. That's it for me. I'll be right back.
This first warning weather update is sponsored by the law offices of Dan Newland Injury Attorneys.
Wendy's menu is getting more cheesy. You can choose between a loaded nacho cheeseburger and chicken sandwich topped with melted cheese, roasted poblano queso, spicy corn, tortilla strips, spicy chipotle sauce, lettuce, and tomato. I have no idea what I just said. All of that is sandwiched between jalapeno cheddar buns. And you can't forget about the fries, which you can now add roasted poblano queso and cheddar cheese on top. You need a menu just to keep up with the menu. Right.
I like cheese and all of it. That's a little bit much.
Oh, cheese is like the greatest thing. But
this is true. It might be too much cheese.
Yeah, there is such a thing.
No such thing. And that's our report for tonight. We're always on at WESH.com or the WESH 2 News mobile app.
Thank you for watching. We hope you'll join us again tomorrow night. We'll see you then.
WESH 2 First Warning Traffic, helping you get from here to there with ease. Warning you of delays and giving you the best route. Watch Megan Mackey weekdays on WESH 2 News Sunrise.